Hello, everybody, and welcome back to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. I'm Shiloh, and I'm here today with the elusive Lewis.
Hello.
And today we are going to have a chat about Austria. So, Austria has announced their artist for Eurovision 2025. His name is Johannes Peach, aka JJ. And he is the voice of the UK alum.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what do we know about him?
Yeah, so he was on The Voice UK in 2020, and I'm not usually one to watch The Voice personally, but that year everything went very, very, very bad. So any kind of
Oh,
TV, yeah.
right, I forgot.
Yeah, that whole lockdown thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made The Voice my staple viewing for that year. Notably, that same year we also had Brooke Scullion that same year in the
Oh, from
same.
Ireland.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So, fun fact there. And Johannes, I remember because um, he went on through to the knockout stage. He was probably my favorite contestant that season, picked by Team Will I Am. Um, Made it to the knockouts and then got eliminated. I didn't see much of him since then, so I haven't really been following his career since The Voice UK. I know he went on to do, I think there's a show called Starmania in Austria the following year. So he's very, very familiar with the talent shows, that sort of circuit. This will be the first time that I'm seeing him actually perform his own stuff. I believe we haven't had anything
This
established.
is this is his first own
Yeah.
single as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
I am not up to date on the JJ lore, but I did go on his Wikipedia and the only thing it's listed for his discography is his upcoming song for Eurovision, which will be called
Wasted love?
sorry, Wasted Love. Yes, thank you. I had to go run to Wikipedia
That's
again
fine.
to look at that. But it will be called Wasted Love.
Yes, and also notably co-written by Taya, former represent. I
Taya!
know. I need Taya's blueprint on every single Eurovision moving forward in any
Well, but
capacity.
she's in at least two other countries
Right,
already.
exactly. So there's a chance we could have a lot of Taya
A
represent.
Taya
A
trifecta.
Taya
Yeah.
trifecta. I love that. I love that. No, yeah, I'm very excited for Johannes. I need to start getting used to calling him JJ. But I think people would really, really enjoy JJ. He's got this nice, unique blend of opera, obviously. But no, he's training at the Vienna State Opera. He's um I I knew of that operatic background. I feel like on The Voice UK we got to see a lot of that operatic stuff, whereas on Starmania, from the clips I've seen on Starmania, he leaned more towards the pop side of things. So it would be a nice blend. Um, I think people easily want to compare him to Nemo of last year because Nemo also had that balance of opera slash pop slash also rap. But I think we're gonna see something very different from JJ. Um, and I think I'm intrigued. I think people need to definitely check out the clips of JJ on these shows to get a sense of who he is as an artist. Um, Obviously, being compared to a winner is not bad. Like, anyone wants to be compared to a winner, but I think JJ will bring his own uniqueness to the Eurovision, and I'm very, very excited because I haven't heard of him for a long time. I was quite a stan. I'm not gonna lie. I had to go back to Instagram, and there was like messages from when I was like 19, and I was like, oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Papara is definitely having a moment. Like, not only with well, with Nemo, obviously,
Mm,
but you can see in a few of the other national finals that are around. One of Taya's other songs, which is Heaven Sent in Malta, is like also has that Papara kind of vibe.
hmm
Um, so like, first of all, this is another song by Taya, so we can probably expect something closer to Heaven Sent than the
Yeah.
Code,
hmm
probably.
Definitely.
Probably, I feel like that's a safe assumption. But if I'm totally honest, I went and I looked up some clips of JJ on The Voice. Um, and I couldn't really get a good sense of what he sounds like when he's like not doing the opera stuff because the clips that I saw, like he sounded like really like kind of shaky and nervous until he hit the opera range. And so it's like it didn't necessarily fill me with confidence, is what I'm saying.
hmm
Like once he gets into the opera thing, like he sounds great. But the sort of like lead into that was sort of like, are are, are you sure? Like, how old are you? Are you 12?
I
Because
mean,
well, because and he's on the younger side. He's about our
yeah.
age, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he is around our age. I didn't really I'm
Wikipedia
assuming
said 2001, which is
okay,
only slightly
so
younger than me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, he is around our age. I think I mean I could probably credit that to the fact that he was I mean, yes, he was also quite young when he was doing these shows like The Voice and
Yeah.
Starmania. Since then he went on to do like these trainings, so like the Vienna State Opera
Hmm.
and and um I feel like when he was on these shows, maybe he didn't have the um not the right not that he didn't have the right training, but I think since then he's probably been able to nurture his voice a lot better. And I'm very excited. I mean, yes, he was very shaky in the low like the less operatic moments. I think opera is his that's his comfort.
Yeah.
That's where he's comfortable. So it'll be interesting to see the the blend of
Hmm.
it both.
Yeah.
I um I hope that he um stays where he's comfortable. I mean, okay, so on The Voice UK on Starmania, in his less operatic moments, he's definitely coming across shaky. I can attribute to that to the fact that hey, a he was very young when he was doing these shows, and b I don't know. I mean, since then he's been on gone on to the training at the State Opera in Vienna. So hopefully, we're going to see a lot more of a, for lack of a better word, fine-tuned voice. I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah,
finesse,
finessed,
polish.
polished. Yeah. One can hope. I'm hoping we can see. But even then, um, maybe if not, just stay in that opera. Just
Yeah.
stay in that opera voice. If that's what you're comfortable with, then yeah. I mean, who knows? Um, we haven't been able
Yeah.
to hear him since, and I know that viewers in Austria are going to get a bit of a preview of JJ. I believe next in a couple days, in a few days actually, because they're screening a live screening of a Vienna State Opera performance
Mm.
piece, and JJ is heavily involved in that. So I'm intrigued to see what comes out of that. But yeah, up to now, we haven't really got much of a sense of what his voice is like now. All we've got is the voice back in 2020,
Yeah.
and yeah, things have changed dramatically, maybe.
Yeah. And so let's talk about this in context for Austria for a
hmm
minute. So last year we had Colleen with We Will Rave,
Yes.
which was a very like it was so danceable. It was so club. it had this like ultra choreographed dance routine, right?
Yeah.
They like flipped her in the middle of the song. It was like it was to quote I think Katia, it was crazy, it was party,
It was.
right?
Hmm.
Um and then before that we had Taya and Selena with
Hmm.
Who the Hell is Edgar? And so Austria is really leaning the more like polished pop route. And
Yeah.
so I'm really curious to see how JJ fits into that with the opera stuff and with a song that is potentially going to lean really heavily into the opera. Like, is this going to be a ballad? We know that Taya can do ballads because she's written a
Yeah.
ballad over in Poland. Like, is this going to be a ballad? Is this going to be a song like Who the Hell is Edgar and like Heaven Sent? I really don't know. I'm really curious. Um, but I think that where Austria has maybe struggled
Yeah.
is finding the right staging for their
Hmm.
song because the songs are often like really polished and they're great in studio and then on stage just something feels off, something goes wrong. So I'm really curious to like of course I'm curious to hear the song, but I think more so I'm curious to see what this staging is going to be like and obviously
Yeah.
we're not going to know anything about that for 3 months, you know? Like the
Hmm.
contest is months away at this point. But I think that that is really going to be where that's really going to be where the money is for Austria is are they going to be able to stage it or not, regardless
Absolutely.
of how good the song is or how well JJ can sing, which I'm sure is really well.
Yeah.
And like Colleen and Taya and Selena, they sang well live. They did. But it was just the staging where things felt sort of awkward, things felt sort of off. I think I mean Colleen had like a technical glitch or something in the
Yeah.
final and which was just really unfortunate and not RF's fault, but
Hmm.
um it like this is we're seeing a trend, right?
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
I'm curious as to your take on that, like more generally, and also like how you think this is gonna fit in with JJ because I don't know just relative to what he was like on The Voice and all that.
Hmm. It's interesting. I'm not sure. I think if I was to make an assumption, what we're gonna get it from JJ is very similar to what we're getting with Taya's other writing credits right now. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'd be very open to a ballad from JJ, absolutely. But if I was to take into account uh, the music that Taya's worked on that we've seen in other national finals, and also what we've seen from JJ on the talent shows that he competed in, there wasn't many ballady songs. Okay, maybe he did do "Winner Takes It All," but I don't know if that. I mean, the "Winner Takes It All" when he performed it, he did sound very shaky, and I don't know if that's just because that's not his forte, and these more not high energy, but more um I don't know what the word is. These more like more poppy. Sure,
Yeah,
more
bouncy,
bouncy
poppy,
poppy. Yeah,
energetic.
I think that's probably what we're probably going to get from JJ. And yes, absolutely, staging. I think staging for me has to make. I mean, for Kaleem, we had that giant pyramid of sorts that was there, and I don't know. It'll be nice to have some sort of staging that could be incorporated into the performance in a way. Um, and I
As opposed
don't
to just a set piece.
exactly.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm intrigued to see the direction that they go with this song. So we've all we've got right now is a song title, "Wasted Love." I think there's many directions we could go with that. I don't want the cliche broken hearts like whatnot.
Yeah,
Um,
like I want, like he's like going out to the club and like maybe he's singing about his broken heart a little bit, but he's
right.
also there to party,
Hmm.
right? Maybe he's getting wasted in that other
Right.
sense that people get
Maybe.
wasted. Maybe that's
Maybe.
how it's wasted love.
Um, I mean, all we've got right now, we can probably create dream scenarios of the staging, but we really don't know what this song's going to be like sonically. And until then, um, yeah,
Yeah, there
I
isn't really anything that we can say about the staging until we get the song,
no,
which is hard because I really do think that is going to be the crucial thing for Austria to get right this year because
yeah,
that like they've proven that they can qualify a song from a televote only semifinal.
hmm
They've done it. I trust in them
hmm
that on the basis of the song can go through to the semifinal, like from the semifinal, like based on hype and whatever.
yeah,
But this staging is going to be the thing to really get right because that's going to push them up to the next level.
yeah.
And there's just nothing that we can say about that right now, which is so tricky. But so all of that being said, like how do you think just with what little information that we know now, right?
Yeah,
Which again is like really
it's
almost nothing. But how
very, very
if you
almost nothing.
had to guess now, how do you think Austria is going to place this year?
Ooh. Um, I mean, knowing JJ as I know him, like, which isn't a lot, but I was quite a big fan of him on the show. Granted,
Hmm.
um, he had his shaky moments. I think I do see a JJ qualifying. Um, in the final, I'm really. I mean, okay, all we've got right now is the songs that we've got, and not gonna lie, a lot of the songs that we've got that are confirmed right now, in, I see them very middle of the road, in many
Yeah.
in many ways.
There's a yeah, I don't know when this is going to go out, but this is the first week of
Yeah,
February, so there's a lot still up in the air.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't see JJ getting a left side. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. There's not a lot we can go off right now, and
Yeah.
it's a very hard to make a prediction of that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, I
yeah, just
definitely see
I
him
think that
getting to the final.
yeah, I think that I can say with reasonable confidence he will probably qualify. I do think it's probably going to be a ninth or 10th in the semifinal situation.
Hmm.
Just purely going off of how the past few entries from Austria have done.
Yeah,
Like just going off of that, I I think that it's going to be sort of a lower end of the semifinal qualifier. Um, Now obviously we never know. Like they could pull some absolute ace out of their sleeve.
hmm
Or something could go terribly wrong.
yeah,
There's in Eurovision there is always the potential for something to go terribly wrong.
yeah.
We like obviously I don't want that for him.
No, absolutely not.
And I don't think it's ultimately super likely, especially because as we've discussed, like he's had all of this vocal training and he has experience on a broadcast. He has experience singing in front of a televised crowd and a camera, and he has experience singing like in front of a live crowd, and he has all this experience now. So I feel like his own stage presence is probably going to be okay. Like it's certainly not going to be the worst
No,
in
absolutely not.
whatever
Yeah.
semifinal he's in. But I don't think at this moment, I don't think I can say Austria is a contender. I don't think I can say that.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think we can say that.
No.
Um, I'm very intrigued to hear this song. I think this is the
Yeah.
one song that I'm definitely the most excited to hear out of the ones
Hmm.
that have been announced as the internal selections so far. This is the song that
Hmm.
I'm most intrigued to hear. Um, I mean, I feel like that Taya influence is gonna help him a lot. Um,
Yeah. I mean, the rise of Taya is just like such a beautiful thing to me. Like I just really enjoy her style.
Absolutely.
Um, in the songs that she's produced for other people, in her stuff with Selena, in her own solo stuff, you know. So like I have faith in her that she is going to give us something good.
Hmm.
I just don't know what ORF are gonna do with that.
No. Yeah.
That's where I'm getting tangled up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I know you mentioned JJ being on TV and having that background. I feel like it's one thing having the. I don't know. I don't know if. I think Eurovision is a whole different beast.
Yeah, it's a performance opportunity totally unlike anything else, but
Yeah.
it does help that he's, been
Yes.
on stage with cameras before. He's gonna like they're gonna like coach him on like where to look and he's gonna be able to know how to do that
Yeah.
to some degree. Because
To some.
there are
Yeah.
some artists who just really don't know how to interact with a camera
No.
and it just
Hmm.
looks awkward and like is he gonna be awkward? Maybe, but I don't think he's gonna be the worst offender because he has this experience.
Right.
Because there are other artists who are like sometimes we get artists who are like totally brand new,
Hmm.
or just artists who have had mostly like digital careers and recorded careers and haven't been on stage very much. Um, but again, there is nothing like Eurovision. It's the biggest show, it's the biggest audience. I probably that most of that any Eurovision artist ever performs for,
Yes.
unless they're like ABBA or
Celine
Måneskin,
Dion.
probably, right?
Right.
So Celine Dion, right, right. Or I guess like Rosalind maybe because like she went on tour with Ed Sheeran.
I
So I
mean,
guess I
yeah.
guess she counts too.
Yeah.
Um but for most people like this is going to be the biggest performance opportunity of their life. And A, they probably know that.
Yeah.
And B, like it's just such a big crowd. And so there's always an element of like you never really know how people are going to react to that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I, I can only hope for the best for JJ. More than anything, I'm just excited that he's here because
Hmm.
you know, it's been so long since because I didn't really follow his career since Voice UK. I didn't know what he was up to. So then I saw the artist announcement drop. I think it was last week. Um, I was like, oh yes, yes, Johannes. I remember Johannes.
Hmm.
And seeing that he's gone on to follow this trajectory into opera. I'm very pleased for him. I'm very excited for him as well because
Hmm.
I think this will be a huge stepping stone for his career, and
Yeah.
I want nothing but the best for him. And yeah, I'm very intrigued to see um, what Wasted Love provides
Hmm.
us.
Yeah, and I love a bit of opera. Like I don't know if it is because like I personally am a singer and like I don't know if like that's why I get drawn to it,
Hmm.
but like not like a pop singer, like a more classical
Right.
kind of singer where it's like, oh, they're doing this. This is something that I know how to do. This is something that I know is really hard. And so if they can do that, oh wow, that's cool. Or if it's just like the other elements of the style that are appealing to me. But I love opera entries. I love them at Eurovision. Like Zero Gravity is still Australia's best
Right.
entry. I will go on record
Hmm.
saying this, right? And the code was so good and it just like and I think it's a genre that does really well at Eurovision. It works really well at Eurovision because it's such a mishmash of stuff. It's so strange, but I think that I'm gonna like the song. I don't know what I'm gonna think about the performance, but I think I'm gonna like the song. Um,
I
is
think
there? I,
I was going to say
go ahead.
I think I can safely assume this is going to sound a lot more classical than most recent opera entries.
Yeah, and that can be a good thing,
Yeah.
right? Because then it means that they're not saying, "Oh, it's just the code again."
Hmm.
Oh, it's just Taya and Selena again,
Yeah.
right? Like not that Taya and Selena like is necessarily popular, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So is there anything else to say about Austria?
Um. No, I'm just very excited. I will be playing that song as soon as it drops. I'm intrigued and I'm no, I'm just more than anything, I'm just chuffed that he's here because It's been so long since I heard
I
from
love
him.
when you guys use British words.
Chuffed.
It's just so it's just like we'll be having a normal conversation and then you drop something and it's like, oh right, like you're not.
No.
There's a whole ocean. There's a
It
whole ocean
is.
there,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and
No,
that's not the point. I'm
no.
sorry.
I'm just very excited to hear Wasted Love. Um, I'm very, very optimistic. And yeah, just very excited.
Yeah. So, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can leave a like, you can leave us a comment, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have discussion videos just like this one. We have reaction videos, we even have some interviews. So definitely check that out. All of our interviews and video discussions are also sent out on our podcast, which you can find at That Eurovision Podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen. You can also find it on our website, www.thateurovisionsite.com, where you can find all the latest Eurovision news, interviews, editorials, reactions, and more, because sometimes we have even
Mm,
more stuff.
more.
Um, you can find our website on socials at That Eurosite, basically just any socials. We're on them under at That Eurosite. Lewis, can the viewers find you on social media?
Yes, you can follow me at X Lewis Thorpe X on almost anything, including but not limited to Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, I think that's the
Right.
main three. Yeah.
And if the viewers really want to find me, they can go sleuthing. I'm not about to say it with my whole mouth. Um, I'm not.
Fair enough. No, that's completely fine.
Um, the yeah, well, thanks again for watching, and bye.
Bye.